The battle for the Ulu Fala is getting hotter and hotter as the best, the greatest storyline in professional wrestling history unpeels another layer of the onion. What inning are we in? Does anybody know? I don't know, but I'm along for the ride. It's 12 o'clock. You know what time it is, y'all. Get ready for the Smackdown Penitentiary. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is now 12 o'clock, aka drink o'clock. You are here. You are now in the Smackdown Penitentiary. I am one of your hosts. I go by the Zia Solid. I am with my guy Vic. Vic, how you doing this Saturday afternoon?
Pretty good, pretty good. Not bad after last night. Good show.
Oh man, listen. SmackDown last night hit everything out of the park for me. Everything out of the park. I have not one complaint about the show. Maybe a little, but for the most part, SmackDown delivered in every aspect of the word deliver. Now, uh, pretty good week in wrestling. SmackDown also had what I think by the time December rolls around, we will probably be talking about a match on SmackDown that happened last night as a match of the year candidate. Uh, I can't. The Profits versus DIY was fire. It was fire. If for those people who are not DIY fans or don't even respect DIY for what they doing, wake up. Wake up. Come on, man. The boys been hot. They've been hot since they got drafted to SmackDown, and they keep rolling. But
We got a good pop last night.
they got a great pop last night. Orlando was crazy last night.
I
Shout
mean,
out
but
to EC. He was out there.
you know what though?
Was
Orlando
that?
is NXT home ground. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so like a lot of the hardcore NXT fan base was probably there, and
They
they
did
was
have some. They did have some NXT people show up there as well.
yeah, Trick Williams and champion. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot his name. Um,
Uh,
Ethan
uh,
Page.
Ethan Page. Yeah.
Like yeah, like they were there. It was clearly just a drive. You know what I mean? So like I got a feeling they definitely got, but I always say, I feel like there was just way too much time in between NXT and now for them
Mm-hmm.
to
To
be
even be there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like they should have been.
Unless they were building on something else, then I could have seen that. But um, yeah, I agree. I don't even know why they were there if they weren't doing like a special show. But it's always nice to see them mix it up. But usually when they put them in the crowd, they're probably going to show up. Maybe the next week and because they did it with Braun, they did it with Tiffy Time.
I mean,
And,
personally, I think that DIY should have gone down like American Alpha,
yeah,
where it stayed in NXT and then they all went off to do different things. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
think that's how it should have been done because, mind you, they have a history together. They have whatever, whatever. But I don't know, man. It's just it's just like a long time ago. You know what I mean? That's like trying to recreate the Road Warriors. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same problem that AOP has. Like, nobody
mm.
cares. All right?
Nobody cared that they were even released. So and nobody cared when they came
Yeah.
back.
I got an AOP shirt for sale, and it's been on the shelves for like a year and a half.
We start SmackDown off with first of all, I gotta share this. I gotta share this really quick. That's a beautiful picture. Queen Naya and Tiffy time. We start off SmackDown with them hailing. I don't want that one. No, I don't want that one. the Queen Naya celebration.
Thanks.
And they literally gave her they gave her Bailey treatment in a sense. They gave her Bailey treatment
Bailey
because
heel.
when Bailey came out on WrestleMania, when they were carrying Bailey, that's what they kind of gave her that. Bailey had more of the, I guess, the Remember the Times type vibe, Michael Jackson.
Oh wow. Shit, man.
So
Eddie Murphy was great as a king in that. I'm about to go watch that. What? Yo, man, we just hit in the '90s vein, kid. You heard what?
Tiffany did not. She did not pay attention to what Naya said to her, and the most important thing is what I saw when Naya got into the ring is I said, "Whoa, that's way too much pink." Naya doesn't like pink.
Naya's a purple girl.
Yeah, she's a purple girl. So immediately it was. I already knew where it was heading. This is another stepping stone to when they are going to eventually have their match. That's going to be definitely one of the key plots in that. But I'm not gonna lie. When I saw they had the shot of Naya and it was kind of far away, and I said, "There is no way they carrying her big ass to the ring. There's no way they carrying her big ass to the ring." And I'm not saying that in a sense of body shaming. I'm just saying she's a large woman. She's a large woman. But then they show that they're actually rolling her. They are rolling her to the ring with some platform thingy. They're rolling her. I said, "Well, that looks too high for the ring right now." Not gonna lie, it looked very high. And they roll up to a ramp. I don't know if this ramp was a pull down or if it was already in the platform that she was on, but they walk her down. And she looked amazing. She looked amazing. Whatever her regimen is, she's definitely slimming down and she's looking better and better. You can tell that she has a lot more confidence in what she's wearing. Just the way that she's presenting herself. She's wearing more things that most big women in wrestling probably would not. And she's comfortable.
I mean, well, she's a model too, though.
Well, yeah. Well,
I
don't know if she's still a model, but she is a former model.
No, those things, the modeling business is just, you know what I mean? It's like the acting business. You get lucky type shit. Like, you know what I mean? So like, you know, but my point is just that, like, she's not somebody that comes with those body insecurities.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because she does all this stuff. Like, as soon as she finished wrestling, she started modeling again. You know what I mean? And where she thought she was not going to come back and all of that. But like I said, you know, the modeling game is a luck game. And there's a lot of big women that'll model clothes. But my point is just she, you know, I feel like she always had that confidence. You know what I mean? But she's definitely smaller now than she was before. You know, because I've always been a fan of Nia Jax. Like, especially the time she came into the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble. That was awesome.
She's in there and she says first order, like she told Tiffany that she shouldn't have, and she's looking at all the pink, and you can clearly see it's written on her face that she's not with this shit. And she told her it was a bit too much for her. I mean, unicorns. What was Tiffany thinking? Unicorns? What did she put unicorns up there for? Like that was weird to me. That was a weird touch. But
she wanted to make it pop.
she asks, first order of business is everybody bow down to her, right? And immediately Tiffany's like, "Wait, what? You want me to bow down right now?" and if you look at the background, like Pretty Deadly was already bowing. It was already on their knees bowing to her. And so they go into this whole musical thing, and I gotta say,
I'm annoyed.
It was pretty it was pretty. It was pretty cringy. Yo,
No,
G, what up,
I,
man?
I'm annoyed with the fact that
Ooh,
you keep going on with this pretty deadly,
musical thing.
and it started here when they were here. You know what I mean? They were just
Mhm.
making a joke about, oh, pretty deadly on Broadway. All right, okay, I get it. You're in New York, so you're gonna make that joke.
Right.
Why is it still going? Like, I don't get it. I don't. Why would people of Orlando care about Pretty Deadly the musical? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is that a thing? I don't get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand like if it's a rib and all of that, but it's not hit. It's not. I don't understand the whole where the trigger is gonna be pulled on Pretty Deadly the musical.
G, you are definitely right. I said this about 5 minutes ago. This looks like a stepping stone to Tiffany versus Nia Jax,
I
or
don't think
just
so.
the cash in. I think
I
it's
think
probably it's teasing the cash in more than anything before the match. I think it's definitely teasing the cash in.
yeah, I don't think they'll have a match. I think that like they'll be um just each other's sidekicks for a little while with little nuggets here and there of when Tiffany's gonna turn on Nia, and then eventually it'll be like during a match or after a match, and then and then they'll have their feud. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And but then I think that the outcome here is to make Tiffany Stratton a face. So we'll see if they cash out because I mean, yo, she's money, bro. She is
I,
definitely money.
I think when it's all said and done, I think she's. I mean, as do you see her for most of her career going forward? Do you see her being a face heavy or heel heavy?
I mean, it depends on how her character is presented, really, because the thing is that Tiffany Stratton um, has just been Regina George all this time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so like, I mean, and there's always a place for a Regina George, but if she's a face, she can't really do that. You know what I'm saying? And like, and I
Right.
feel like booking a face sometimes is a little bit harder than booking a heel, because you have, you don't you're not if you're not chasing anything, then you don't necessarily got much going on unless you have like a good feud or whatever. You know what I mean? So it really depends. Like right now as a heel, she's perfect because she's talking a lot of shit. She's very arrogant, and for the most part, people like that. But everybody respects how good she is in the ring.
Yeah.
So but then you got to have add character to that. So we'll see what it is that they do with her. But I certainly feel like this is a slow burn to a baby face Tiffany Stratton.
So after that, um, the terrible musical. Jeez, that was it's so bad. Like me and Mike was watching it together. I was like, this is really bad. Like that's all I can say is like this is so cringy. Like,
And that's the thing. I get it because there's always room for that in this show, but like, why keep this musical thing going on? Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
because that was a local thing, so I get that. But like, you know, oh, if they would have said like, oh, we're gonna put on this show for Disneyland, Disney, pay attention. You know what I mean? Like, and I think like it would have been more funny, like, you know what I'm saying? But they're still trying to get on Broadway. I'm just like, all right, find another.
Hey, Sabrina Estella. Listen, everybody. Listen, I'm not lying. Listen, she's going to be another co-host for the Penitentiary. We need a female warden. I'm working behind the scenes. We need to steal her from NXT. We don't necessarily need to steal her from NXT. We just need her on the Penitentiary. She can work double duty, but she needs to be on the premiere show. She needs to be on the A show. I know she loves NXT, but the
She needs a.
Penitentiary, she 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 doesn't need Jack. She doesn't need Jack anymore. She doesn't need Jack. She's bigger than Jack. We want the premiere. We want the premiere from
Right.
NXT. Come over
Act,
to the premiere
act
show.
with Marty Jannetty. You know what I mean?
EC is trying to show block right now. EC is show blocking us right now.
She's got to throw him through the barbershop window.
We get, as I'm saying, like, this is so cringy. Finally, we get saved by Mia Yim, of all people. I was not expecting this, honestly. I wasn't thinking about it, but not mad about it. She was winging that thing. She was winging that thing everywhere. She was smacked the shit out of Pretty Deadly, man. I'm not gonna lie. She hit one of them on the back of the neck.
Yeah, they took the most
as he was getting out.
He was out there for that.
Yeah, she hit him right in the back of the neck. See, come to the penitentiary. Come to the penitentiary. That's all I'm saying. And also Mia Yim. We've said it here before that I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. We are loving what they're doing with Mia. She's turning a corner from what they've been doing. Because she was getting a lot of squash. She was getting mad squash matches, and she was on the wrong end of squash matches. So see, and I think that this is all good for her. I'm loving every single moment of this.
She's getting Jericho levels of TV time.
Yeah. She got 2 segments. She got 2 segments tonight.
She's like on NXT and on Raw, and on SmackDown. So she's getting a lot.
Diggs, what's up, man? Thank you for stopping by the penitentiary. How was your afternoon, my brother? This is everything that they're doing with Mia. Like, we can't complain about them not giving us, new stars or new feuds, and then complain when they take a chance and do this. So I am all for Mia Yim in this.
You know who I feel bad for?
Who's that?
Keith Lee. I know he is jealous as fuck. I know it. The only other person that could be more jealous than Keith Lee is Jordan Grace's husband. What's his name?
Jonathan Gresham. People are giving Gresham a whole bunch of flowers and props for what he's doing, but the problem is we don't know that. If I don't even watch. I don't watch Ring of Honor, so I don't care. I'm sorry, not Ring of Honor, TNA. I don't watch it, so I don't care what he's doing over there. His name isn't Joe Hendry. His name isn't Josh Alexander. His name isn't Nick Nemeth. I don't really care for what they're doing over there in TNA, and that's the problem with Gresham. But I have to agree, Keith Lee has to be air punching right now because he's got to be Cuba Gooding Jr. air punching right now because if he just would have did what Vince McMahon wanted him to do and just shed a little bit away, he could have been in a Gunther position. If he just would have did what he needed to do.
In the Gunther position. Gunther did the right thing, shed the weight. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You could tell that with Gunther, you could tell that he was big before because there's parts of him that are you know what I mean? Hanging off.
He didn't tone the muscle. He lost the weight, but he didn't tone the muscle.
Yeah, exactly. If you see his counterpart, Tiffy's man, what's his name?
Kaiser, Ludwig Kaiser. That motherfucker.
Kaiser dude is he's tight.
Cut.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Gold Member. But but yeah, you could definitely see that he's like that. But my point is just that Keith Lee, he was the first double champion in NXT. I don't know if there's ever been another one. And he was given the Ultimate Warrior spot. You know what I mean? He would have been a big deal. And I hope that he turns it around and comes back. I know he had a couple conditions or whatever, but dude was. I love to see Keith Lee in the ring. You know what I mean? What they did with him in AEW is sad.
Tragedy.
Yeah, because he should be joining Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews right now. I mean, on the job squad.
For the job squad.
That's where he belongs right now. And it's sad to say, is the guy,
After this segment, we go backstage and we get woo!
Word, that was cool.
Woo! Woo! You got the chocolate cake, you got the chocolate frosting, and you got the chocolate sprinkles. How could you go wrong? It's ooey gooey fudgeness. Oh, y'all like to call them black girl magic. I just call it chocolate cake. Scrum, dude. We got chocolate strawberries. You got chocolate ice cream. You got chocolate cake. You got what else? You got chocolate cheesecake. Listen, all of it. All of it. This is all delectable. All delectable.
Whoever that dude is, that's all over Instagram with with Jade, solidifying some kind of relationship, has got to be the most hated man in the wrestling community right now. Man, when I seen that, I'm a married man. When I seen that, I was upset. Damn.
That was this definitely. I was like, what the hell does Jade have on? Safety pins and shit. Like she's about to, like she definitely like she just came from a Paramore concert. Not gonna lie, both of them. This is a chocolate buffet. That's what that was. A chocolate buffet. Naomi must have seen the feedback that she got for her look last week. The natural. Most of us black fans, we love the natural. I said it last week. I do not care for this what a phrase. Look but don't touch exists, Mick. That's Does anybody? Okay, you know what? Speaking of look but don't touch, can anybody explain to me what the hell does you want to have your cake and eat it too mean? What the fuck are you supposed to do with cake? Aren't you supposed to eat it?
I never made any sense.
I hate it. I hate that phrase so much. You want your cake and eat it too. Well, what the fuck am I going to do with it? What else am I going to do with it? You know, like that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Are you buy a cake just to slice it?
That fro is popping. She definitely got a lot of. She took the feedback that she got for last week's look, and she's building on it. I think that's just a very natural, beautiful look. Right? It's a really beautiful look. And you know what? For me, Jade, this hair right here, the silver. I love. I don't know, like silver hair on brown skinned women. I like it a lot. Like Asia Wilson from the WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces. She had silver hair for a while, and then she got rid of it. I thought the look was amazing. I think silver hair on brown skinned women is amazing, and that's all due to Holly Berry playing Storm. She did it for us. She did it for us. I get that, but it just if my main girl is my cake, I gotta eat the cake. Can I have the cake? Just
isn't the side piece a different piece of cake?
You know what? It should be.
Your girl is chocolate, and then your side piece is vanilla. You know what I mean?
You want your cake and another slice too. I think that's better. You want your cake and another slice too.
Yeah. You want to try a different cake? You go to Cheesecake Factory, and you get one cake, and then your date gets a different cake, and then you try two cakes. Like,
by the way, speaking of Cheesecake Factory, is you're a married man? Is you and your wife go to Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
Does your wife enjoy Cheesecake Factory? Like, is that a cheap date to her?
No, because she
see social media is just
here's the thing.
Cheesecake Factory.
Here's the thing with that. I feel like women are humans that are seeking out their best interests. You understand that? So, like, people are gonna say those things, but a girl that doesn't get any attention will be happy walking down the street with you getting a slice.
Yeah.
So that's them bougie chicks that are on OnlyFans and got thirst traps on Instagram and got a million people that want to fuck them. Of course, they don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. You know what I mean? Because they got other options. But shoot, I guarantee you that somebody that don't look that good be happy as hell to take a walk through the park and eat a hot dog.
Listen, that's cool, man. That is cool. Listen, a street truck date, that's cool.
That is
You go walk the street in beautiful
right.
weather. You try food truck food. I love food truck food. That's amazing. Steve, listen, I don't think that Jade is getting old. I mean, that's just it's definitely great. It's definitely great. Listen, I'm getting gray hairs. I am 36. I am getting gray hairs.
Listen, they're not gray hairs. They're stripes of wisdom.
Listen, I'm pretty stupid, so I don't know why I would have stripes of wisdom.
But I tell you, I bet you know how to tell somebody something. And be like, listen, don't do that because that's gonna happen. You have children already, and you already know how to teach a child to avoid fire. So shoot fly with all that dumb shit. You're not dumb.
Steve, listen, most of us on the UPR are old. More than half of UPR's roster is 30 plus.
42 years old. That is a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Julio was like talking about, I didn't think I was gonna see 22 back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Better recognize getting old is cool. You feel me? Where's my typewriter? Because y'all
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. When they were talking, and all of a sudden Melo comes out of nowhere. I know he was looking at all of them in them sunglasses. I know he was. Just look at the look that he getting. Like, what's going on over here?
I'm not gonna lie. I was feeling that. Like the fact that
I like this whole interaction. I did.
Yeah, I did. And then even after Jay dissed him, like he was just like, "You still watching my matches, though?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was feeling that. I really was.
He was talking that ish.
He was, man. I was definitely feeling Carmelo Hayes right now. Like he's definitely doing his thing. But yo, I'm not gonna lie, these matches, not just match, but these matches that these guys are having, yo, top notch, man. These guys got straight chemistry. I don't know if Carmelo Hayes went to train like with luchadors, but listen, man, he's moving just like them. You know what I mean? This whole shit with the counters and the back and the forth and countering each other's moves and yo, the freaking three amigos to an RKO.
The three amigos to a cutter was crazy.
That shit was fire, bro.
Crazy work.
That was crazy work. When I watched it again this morning, I rewound that part back. You know what I'm saying? Because
also, the top when they did the sliced bread spot.
Yes,
and
that was great.
Yeah, so they were saying that Melo hit the reversal. I couldn't tell. I think they both hurt each other, but that was a really good spot for them. I thought that was pretty dope. But as they were doing the match, I'm saying to myself, there's no way that Carmelo he can't lose this. If they're doing an unofficial best of 7, there's no way that Carmelo loses this. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it was several spots in the match. And you know what? Also, since we're talking about the best of 7, I thought there was a nice little tidbit that Bianca had said to it was Bianca or Naomi had said to Carmelo, "Isn't Andrade up on you on 2-0?" And like so for the fact that they're already keeping count that in that manner, I think that's pretty an important.
But it might not even be best of 7. It might just be best of 5.
Ooh, could be.
You know what I mean?
Could be.
Like you don't want it to get stale because, like, you know, I don't think this is another bar because this is how the bar started. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we certainly didn't see that coming, and it worked out great. But I certainly don't see that here. You know what I mean? These
No,
guys.
I agree. I think Melo's too young, and Andrade is one of he's one of H's guys,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak, and he's definitely due for a push. I
Yeah.
think that he could get that SmackDown. I mean, he'll enter in that United States Championship picture again, maybe briefly, but I would think within the next 365 days he'll get some sort of contenders match or title match for the WWE Championship. But that is again 365 days from now. Mania is already set. I'm pretty sure Mania is probably already set. Whatever they have planned for this title, for the undisputed title, it's probably already set. So anybody else, null and void. But I think that Andrade definitely will get some sort of push within the next 365
You
days,
know,
especially with Charlotte being back soon.
I mean, personally, I think that these two should be fighting over that speed belt. I think they
They should.
because I think because for some reason they talk about it and they mention that he's the speed champion, but he doesn't bring out the belt. He doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a hidden thing, like, which is weird because I even remember like the original NXT belt when Kevin Owens came out with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm really, really surprised that they're just like keeping everything about speed on X. And I don't know if that's a contractual thing, but I find that to be incredibly weird.
I gotta agree. Because a lot of people don't even know about speed, or a lot of people don't even go on Twitter. Um, they
That's true.
just don't. Uh,
That's true.
yeah, I gotta yeah. This is it's a really weird. It's one of those Vince McMahon rules, like don't say
Oh,
strap
you
or
can bring it.
belt.
Yeah, but all
Like
those McMahon rules are gone now.
yeah, I'm just saying it's one of those unspoken rules that what I'm saying we don't know why, but it's a ridiculous reason. Like don't call them wrestlers. You're not a wrestler, you're a sports entertainer.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
no, that I get. I mean, but there's like because there's legalities to that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
because you know like if when you say wrestling to people that don't know professional wrestling, they think Olympic wrestling. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, like there's legalities to that whole situation. But yeah,
Um,
we're here to be entertained.
Carmelo gets the dub, right? But
Yeah.
he over celebrates, right?
Mm.
Like Andrade's giving him his props, and he's still like in his face. This is like when you were little and your cousins or your friends come over to play video games, and you're whipping everybody's ass in a house, right? And then they finally get a win on you, and it's like they not letting it go. They not letting it go. Out of
You know,
you beat them
I,
99 times, and that 100th time they finally get a win on you, and they not letting it go. They run around the house, mom, dad, look, I beat brother. Like, yeah, this is what this is.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I played Wii Sports and I got my first champagne, that, you know what I'm saying? I was popping champagne bottles on people with the Wii tennis. Don't fuck with me with the Wii tennis. It's a wrap with you. You feel me? And the bowling, what? Let me get a turkey on that bowling. I'm not shutting up. You know what I mean? So I understand Carmelo hate.
We can't do Wii Sports no more. Knees gonna pop out of place. All that shit, man. Shoulders gonna hang low. We can't do it no more. I can't. This is why I can't do it. I can't do VR stuff.
The first
I
time
can't do VR stuff. Mm.
the first time with the tennis was crazy because you didn't get the remote that well, so you would jump across the room. Yeah, that was the funniest. Anyway, we talk about SmackDown.
Yeah. A brawl comes out between these two, which definitely signifies that this is not done. I think that it'll probably commence at Bad Blood. Because I don't see both of them going bash or
That
Berlin.
makes sense. That makes sense. That's perfect for Bad Blood, actually, because I really don't. I still don't understand what that's about. And I mean, if it's probably well, Bad Blood is probably going to be centered around Roman and Solo That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
You know what I mean?
They did get This Is Awesome chance, which is pretty dope.
The match was great.
Andrade, for those who say he doesn't get pops, he definitely got a pop. That was a big pop for Andrade. That was definitely a big pop for Andrade.
I mean, I feel like it was probably a Latin pop. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans in Orlando, and the thing is that he's really respected in like the lucha space. You know what I mean? I hate to say
he's like a god, man.
I mean, but like he belongs in like AAA, those places. You know what I mean? Same with Legado Defensa.
But he's been there, done that. You know, so
that's the thing. But I mean, like, it's just hard to pop with an American crowd if you're not American. It really, really is. Like, look at Io Sky. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world. You know what I mean? Like, she does crazy bumps, but there's a limit to, you feel me?
Yeah.
Kairi same thing. You know what I mean? There's just a limit to, I mean, I'll even take it back to Los Boricuas back in the day with Savio Vega. Certain areas it would just be huge, but then other areas it would be crickets.
Definitely the best Andrade is look outside of being with Selena Vega. So I still believe that any rendition of Andrade with Selena is better than what he has now, but he's still growing. But this is definitely the best he's been since he's gotten back, though.
I mean, that also goes to show you that he needs a mouthpiece. In my opinion, Charlotte Flair should be his mouthpiece.
What's the dead weight, EC? What's the dead weight? Because I feel we got Steve trolling earlier, so now I guess it's I'm really confused. I'm confused, but I'm very intrigued to know what he thinks the dead weight is.
Hating on Selena because she's from Queens, so now he got
Naomi comes out to she came out to a pretty nice pop. They like her song. Her song's catching on. You know, they like the little go part.
You know what? I'm mad that she took an L at home.
Like, that was crazy work.
I'm mad that she took an L at home. Like, nah, bro. I love her because she's
Are we still on Jakarta?
She's the Black Natty. You know what I mean?
Which is not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. I mean, it's just that like her peak, I think, in my opinion, was at least in WWE, was at the Women's Championship, and when she had a glow and all of that. You know what I mean? But now but I'm mad that because she got a great pop. You know what I mean? But close enough to France, and she definitely should have gotten the W here. You know, I mean, I understand that she's given black. Nobody really knows who Blair Davenport is unless they're hardcore NXT fans. So, I get that, but I'm mad that she definitely, because it would have been a great night. Like, the hometown crowd would have seen her. You know what I mean? Like,
but at the same time, when it's all said and done, if she retires today, she's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Funkadactyl. You know how long ago that was?
Yeah, she's now, she's
Titus.
Worldwide.
No, not Titus. What's his name? No, it's not Titus. It's the
Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay. Yeah, like he's got more fame on Fox News than he does in wrestling. Like,
I mean, he did do his thing in NWA, but again, nobody watches NWA. I stopped watching NWA when
EC3 is killing them in NWA right now.
I stopped watching it. EC3 was one of the only reasons why I watched NWA. Nick Aldis was one of the reasons. Also, the Black Pope, D'Angelo De Niro. I kept this up here because listen, at this point in time, Naomi's gonna have to start. She had to start wrestling in a fucking t-shirt because none of her clothes is fitting right now. Like none of her clothes is fitting. But in the sense of Naomi losing in her hometown, I think that she has enough rapport. She's been Orlando 2, 3, 4 times over performing. So I mean, she's just was in TNA. They in Orlando too. She's got enough love.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Naomi do what this kid just did in NXT. Wesley, that's what I want to see her do.
Turn?
Yeah. A hard turn. Do a turn on Jada and Bianca Belair and just become vicious. I would love to see that from Naomi. I was hoping she was going to join the Bloodline. I just want to see something of Team Bad just come back. But it's been like over a decade since then. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, she was
still fighting for Team Bad. That shit was terrible.
It was, but Naomi needs a heel run, bro. Like, she is like Kofi Kingston, bro. Always smile. Kofi Kingston is another one. If Kofi Kingston is gonna turn on Xavier Woods, yo, that would be crazy. I think
it has to be Xavier that does the turn, though. It has
to
be
man,
Xavier.
If it's Kofi,
he's still very young in his career, though. He's still Kofi's like 45. Xavier Woods is like 35. Xavier can still turn the corner for the rest of his career. Kofi's done. I think Kofi's got like a year or two left in him.
Probably, yeah. But I mean, he should have a run. I don't even remember him ever being a heel. Ever. No, he's never. Like, if he had jokes, he'd be another R-Truth.
Blair gets the dub, as we said, or as I like to say, low budget Jamie Hayter gets the dub. And this was probably the only match that I did not particularly care for. It was pretty fast, honestly. I think it was
hometown filler. That's why she should have won the match. You know what I mean?
6 minutes or some shit like that. It was very quick.
But I think that they might continue with the feud or just have Blair Davenport. You know what I mean? They're just trying to give Blair Davenport some shine. So I get that. You know what I mean? I just feel like it should have been somebody else. She's coming after Naomi. And she's not necessarily the strongest on the roster, but she can put on a good match. So, like, you know, but I'm still just mad because I'm a fan of Naomi. But I'm just we should call it Blair. The Big Three versus the Unholy Union. So now I guess this is how they're gonna get their redemption.
Well, yeah, they said that in which next week's SmackDown looks like it's going to be fire. You got the 6-woman tag match that's happening. You got I think it's LA Knight and Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
For the United States Championship, or it's a contenders match or something like that.
It's for the championship because it's in DC.
Yeah, so it's SmackDown next week looks like it is going to be fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway through this thing. You guys in the chat, appreciate y'all. We're going to take a quick commercial break and get right back into the second hour of SmackDown. Stay tuned, y'all.
This SummerSlam match with Damian Priest and Gunther is a test for Gunther.
Sorry, you said what?
Actually,
you got something for us?
The whole entire thing. This was the funniest moment.
What is Jay Uso got for us tonight?
Jay, literally.
At the Waffle House?
For mommy. Jay is thirsty for mommy, y'all. We saw it as soon as after this whole little blow up with Liv and with Rhea and Dom and then all that mess. Jay comes out, he shoots his shot in front of Dom.
Yeah.
In front of Damien. And Damien is the number one instigator of all time with the
stir in the pot.
Hey, bro. I wouldn't take that if I was you. That's some New York shit.
Oh yeah. No.
He showed why he was prime New Yorker. Because New Yorkers, one thing I know about them, they instigate any and everything. How I know this? Because I'm in
Northerners. Northerners. We just don't put up with shit. We just call it out.
I'm in a fellow Facebook group that was created by New Yorkers, and all these New York motherfuckers always talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Raw review show hosted by Freckle Sensei. He had special guest Cactus Katie on. Oh, that was hard to say a little bit. I don't know why. But you can catch them every Tuesday on no, what am I thinking about? You know what? I've been drinking. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Raw review show. Jesus, that was But I see all y'all coming now. Y'all feeling it now. Y'all feeling it now. So everybody here, we would just like to say to all of you guys,
welcome to the Smackdown Penitentiary.
There we go. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. That's what I was like. Now it's like all the people y'all coming into the show. It's like you coming to church late. You know, Black people usually come to church late, so we ain't gotta sit there all the time. Come on, welcome. You're welcome to the penitentiary. Getting back into the night,
late, so everybody could see your swag.
Yeah. Getting back into SmackDown. After that matchup, we see Solo backstage, and he's got that look. Well, Tama Tonga brings him the Ulu Fala, and it's still something that everybody gets this dazed look. This dazed look when they're holding it, right? It's something takes over, right? Immediately look at Solo's eyes. Immediately look at his eyes. He's just focused, right? And he tells Tama Tonga that if Roman becomes tribal chief, Tama Tonga will have to acknowledge him. And Solo will also then acknowledge him as well. So it sounds like if Roman gets the Ulu Fala, then Solo is agreeing that he's just going to fall back in line. I kind of don't see that, just for the fact that he's already disrespected Roman. So I don't see it happening. But judging by what the Samoan heritage, he has to.
Yeah.
So he says that the only way that this can happen is if Roman takes it from him. And he's basically setting up for the end of the night. And listen, Tama was definitely gazed on the Ulu Fala when he first picked it up last week, and Solo had to snap him out of it. He was like, hey, give it to me. Because he wanted to put that thing on. So yeah. EC's tasting women. We're gonna let's spare him.
What are you talking about? He don't got bad tasting women. Well,
okay. Look,
I'll say, like, in his defense, he's made a couple of bad choices, right? But overall, on average, you know what I mean? At least from like the women he's attracted to and stuff like that. I don't think he has bad taste. You know what I mean? Because and the thing is, like, when you meet somebody and they're caked up, you don't meet them. You meet their representative, like Chris Rock said. You know what I mean? So, like, you know what I mean? It's like, trying to have your cake and eat it too, but then you end up with like, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck is you supposed to do with the cake? Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, anime.
You can't eat the cake if it's rotten. You feel me? So, like, sometimes, you know what I mean, you get rotten cake with a lot of that covering on it. Anyway, we make it too many analogies right now. I'm not.
So after this, we seen that Grayson Waller and we see Grayson Waller and Austin Theory talking backstage, and he's literally, in a sense, Grayson is talking about KO kind of the same way that most people have, right? Like, why does he get a title shot? He's been getting beat by the Bloodline for 4 years, and Austin is kind of hyping him, and next thing you know, KO's like right there, and he's giving him like, oh, cut the shit, which I thought was pretty dope. And you see Kevin Owens here still supporting Randy on Raw. I think that those two will end up clashing. Probably Bad Blood, maybe. We still got some time for Bad. It's like 40, 45. Yeah.
You know, I think I
this
think
Trix
that
Bull, she shoved that cake in her mouth.
yeah, facts. I think that they're turning Kevin Owens heel though.
They should. We kind of got.
I think this is the beginning of it because like Grayson Waller was like, I want to see the old Kevin Owens. You know what I mean? Facts.
He called that man an easy dub. Grayson Waller calling Kevin Owens an easy dub is crazy work. It's crazy.
And so, like, and the way that he spun it around and he was like acting like the old man, and he was all like, you know, I don't know the words that you kids use nowadays, and all of that, but you know, that means win, right? So like, I found that I love his sarcasm. I always love Kevin Owens' sarcasm. So that whole segment was pretty good.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is, when it comes to the word dub, right? Dub will, I don't know. I don't even know where it comes from. I think it's a New York term. Yeah,
W.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like he'll say, okay, easy dub, that's a win, right? But then they'll be like, yo, did you get that girl phone number? You're like, nah, she dubbed my shit. Dub means turn down, but dub also means win. So
no, but I mean, it's basically the opposite of taking an L. You feel me? But
like
then
he turned bad into good, you know?
Yeah, but then at the same time, they used to say pass the L.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really depends on where you're coming from.
So
nobody wants to pass the loss.
Shout out to Mike Knox and Mike Knox Show. Check it out. You catch him every Monday at 6 p.m. You missed the Black Girl Magic talk, man. You missed it. We had chocolate cake, chocolate strawberries, chocolate cheesecake, chocolate sprinkles. Word. It was just chocolate everywhere. The chocolate was chocolating.
Facts.
The chocolate was definitely
all up in that fact.
Sabrina, you are definitely white. I mean, right. I'm sorry, not white. Don't come to the show. That wasn't a joke. I'm slurring my words all day today. I can't talk to you, but you are absolutely right.
No, I don't know if she speaks Spanish. I wonder if she does. I don't think Barbara does.
She does.
She does.
It's very nice. Yeah, it's very nice.
Okay. That's why I laughed when you said that, because there's a lot of people that are Spanish and don't speak Spanish, so you know, that's how we refer to them. Kind of like when Jocelyn Hernandez called Amber Rose a white girl type shit.
I don't think anybody talks faster than Jocelyn Hernandez. DB.
Word up.
This is actually Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller was actually surprisingly a good match. I do not care for Grayson Waller. I think that there was a horrible call up. I get why they called him up, but
what are you talking about? He's a young Miz.
Grayson?
Yes. He has his own show already. He's a good shit talker. He's a good he wrestles safe, and he's really good on the mic, and like he expands on the Australia people and all of that. Like, trust me, this guy's a tool. He's very useful. He's got and he's
listen, I am not Elmer Fudd right now. I'm stuttering like Foghorn Leghorn right now over my words. I couldn't even get outside of the commercial we just ran. So yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's crazy. Foghorn Leghorn was my favorite. It's just because of his accent. But whenever I would go to Six Flags, I could never find his ass.
Because he's the only one taking the pictures. Everybody knows Six Flags Foghorn Leghorn. He's the biggest one walking around.
No, I
have not drank a lot. I'm just talking a lot. So I keep having to drink something, and I'm not partial. I got some tea. Here we go. I got some tea. There it is.
You know what? Look what Jeffrey just said. He's right. When was the last time KO won with a pop-up powerbomb? And mind you, like, he was about to do the pop-up powerbomb on the apron. That's why I feel like he's about to go back to his heel ways. You know what I mean?
Possibly. I could see it. But how many main event? We don't have Solo's the main event heel. We don't have anybody else after that, right?
A main event heel? I mean, I guess.
I mean, AJ's supposed to be coming back, so I guess he's going to be that. No doubt that they're the future. I just think that Grayson Waller's call up is still premature because I don't care for him.
No, I get
just
that.
Because I don't care for him doesn't mean that I don't. It's just for me right now. His character, it's just annoying to me, and it's not annoying in the sense of I want to see him get his ass beat. It's just annoying. Why are you on my screen? Go that way.
I mean, but here's the thing. You notice how much Austin Theory barely talks now. You know what I mean? He's basically the mouthpiece. Like this guy. My point is just that this guy is very versatile because the Miz, even though he wrestles, he could be anybody's manager. The Miz could manage anybody, talk shit for anybody, and I see the same thing with Grayson Waller. I think Grayson Waller is a guy that is just really, really good on the mic. And 10 years from now, I think we're going to look back at this guy and see that he definitely is another Miz. I mean, I'm not putting him at the same level. I'm not putting him in the same level as an MJF, but he definitely got mic skills, bro. Like, he really does.
WWE could never have a MJF level heel character. And
no,
I say that because they're a publicly traded company. They have to still have some sort of representation of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas AEW is not. And AEW they can get, they can sell their shirts on AEWshop.com or whatever it is, and they also can go into business for themselves and sell their shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. They are still independent contractors under AEW contract, right? So they're still working for themselves in a sense. I mean,
look, MJF had a match in Rev Pro, I think it was, and he went to Wrestle Talk and was like part of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? In the UK, I really appreciate the way that they're selling Wembley Stadium, because MJF is just doubling down on his.
I mean, verbally, yes, they are selling Wembley, but physically, they are not selling tickets for Wembley. They just are not. And I think that they just need to and Tony, he did make the announcement that All In is not going to be back in Wembley. You shouldn't have done that in the first place, in my sense, and in my opinion. But it's just a bad look.
Here's the problem. Remember when AEW was a freshman, and it was a brand new fresh meat. Now AEW 4 years later, this guy. Now 4 years later, right? AEW is a super senior. Everybody's already accustomed to seeing her. You know what I mean? Like, she's not, AEW is not fresh. Is not, the new girl on the block anymore. You know what I mean? So like, I personally think they shouldn't have done it back to back like that. I think that if they would have gone to another location and then probably had a different show at Wembley Stadium, possibly, but they're doing the same thing that they did here in the tennis stadium that's here in New York, what they do every year, right? The first year popped, everybody was full and all of that. Second year, how about halfway? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the first time was good enough. I think the first time was good enough. You could have easily one-offed it and then went somewhere else, because it seems to me, and maybe I don't know your thoughts about it, but it seems to me that when it comes to overseas crowds, AEW's overseas crowds their fan base overseas just doesn't compare to WWE's, and they should have never came back to that territory. Especially after seeing what WWE did with Backlash, and what they did with what was the other thing that they had? Clash at the Castle. Like, they shut it down. So in that sense, the first All In, by all means, don't go back. But don't go back after what WWE is doing. It's a thing. AEW's never went over there. Of course, You should want to be excited. You know what?
The
Also,
thing is, like,
Rhea Ripley was drinking out of a shoe as well.
yeah, but here's the thing, like when they going to Australia and going to the UK are two vastly different things. Because, like, look, they went to Wembley Stadium for Bret Hart versus the British Bulldogs, and you know how long ago that was. You know what I mean? So my point in mentioning that is that Wembley Stadium is like the European Madison Square Garden. Like that place gets so much attention, so much stuff like that. But then when they went to Nice, when they went to France, and that crowd got the way that was in a 15,000 stadium and all of that, like, and they probably made more money. You know what I mean? So, like, my point is just that the Brits are just as spoiled as we are when it comes to wrestling. They have their own stuff. They have, you know what I mean? They can fill out stadiums and stuff like that. So for them to do a Wembley back-to-back it just makes no sense. It's like the same. It's like when they did SummerSlam here for 3 years in a row. By the third year, they already had to take it elsewhere. And this is New York. You know what I mean? Like, because people just got used to them. They're like, oh, all right, I'll try it. You know what I mean? You just get that. That's why I think it should go different places all the time.
Understood. All right, so we put a nickel in the meter. We don't get to talk wrestling like everybody else does. We have to wait all week so we can get our little side conversations in. Y'all here for it. Before we get back into SmackDown,
I'm talking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I just realized that that we've been talking about AEW for like 7 minutes, and that's more than we ever give them. I don't think it's going to be a sellout. From what I'm seeing, they're still having they're having a lot of trouble selling All In. So I just don't think that I think it's going to be underwhelming as far as attendance and what they're used to. They're probably going to end up buying the rest of the tickets and, you know, handing them out or some shit at a radio station. But I don't think that off rip it's going to do that. Back to this KO and Grayson Waller. So at the end of the match, KO gets the dub, right? And he's about to get jumped. Easy dub. I did not get the part where Cody Rhodes comes out. So KO is about to get jumped, and he's getting jumped by Grayson and Austin. Did they make it official that it's actually those two that are gonna wrestle, or are they still not?
What do you mean, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes?
Yeah,
they did.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the whole argument started from the beginning, where, like, why is Kevin Owens getting this and that? You know what I mean?
You're right.
But at the same time, I feel like it's a slow heel turn. Or I mean, because here's the thing, I don't know. I don't see a direction for Kevin Owens outside of a heel turn. I really don't.
It has to happen.
You know what I mean, I don't see. Unless and Randy went to Raw, unless this is just a one-off for him to.
I think it's definitely a one-off, but that's the dilemma that I wanted to get to as you were alluding to that. To have KO turn and then also have Orton eventually turn, you now take a spot. You now take, you know, what we were just talking about, who's the top heel in, on SmackDown. It's Solo for sure, but then. Does AJ come back as a heel along with Kevin Owens turning heel, and then eventually what we're all expecting, Randy Orton to be heel? So it's a really crammed in space. And then if you think about the faces that they have on SmackDown, Roman's face, Cody's face, which is crazy because your two biggest names are faces, right? Like, it's not even. There's never been a point in time where Rock and Austin were both faces, has there? You know what I'm saying? Like, Cody is the guy, Roman is the guy, and they're both faces.
Like, I personally think.
So maybe it's not. Maybe it's not Randy that turns. Maybe it's Cody that turns. Just saying.
That would be interesting if Cody would turn heel as a
Cody's heel work is goated.
But then but the thing is just that's great for storytelling, but that's throwing an enormous amount of money out the window.
Merchandise.
Yeah.
He's got more variants than a Marvel universe of
Exactly.
shows.
Which is smart, but at the same time, like, he's got the crowds going, whoa, he's got the whole world in his hands. Shout out to Bray Wyatt. You feel me? So, like, for him to turn, it really doesn't make sense. Now, the other thing is, for Randy to turn, I think that's tough. Why? Because that's like getting Rey Mysterio to turn. You know what I mean? Like, they like Cody. I mean, Randy is pretty much a Hall of Famer already, an unofficial Hall of Famer. The guy
that for the past 10 years.
The guy has a legacy belt for 20 years. He has a world heavyweight championship that looks like a snake, and it's commemorating 20 years of Randy Orton. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my point is just that he has such an ingrained fan base at this point. Like, it's hard to. I feel like it'll be hard to turn him. However, The Rock turned. You know what I mean? When The Rock is, you know what I mean? But the thing, even though the people loved it, like, it was still a heel turn, but still, like, yeah, bro. I don't know. You know what I mean? And because that's the other thing. I think that if Randy would have turned, it would just lead to a pop. And it'll be like AJ Styles fighting Cody Rhodes in France, where AJ Styles ended up with the biggest pop of the fucking night. Like, AJ Styles and I'll never forget, that was the funniest shit I ever seen, because he's sitting there trying to be serious and and he just couldn't help it. Like, yo, he's so fucking just popping for me. But anyway, like, this, you know what? Honestly, one thing I do like is that it certainly isn't predictable as to where they're going to go. Because I certainly did not see Cody Rhodes fighting Kevin Owens for a championship at Berlin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did not see that at all. But, like, at the same time, it's all about Berlin. It's all about Gunther. It's all about pushing Gunther as the King General. And the one, speaking about that, the one thing I notice is that they make a big emphasis on Nia Jax being the queen, but it's like
not Gunther being the king. And I think that they did that because they wanted us to remember that it was still some murky details about that match. With Randy's shoulder still being up, and when they replayed that that ending of Gunther and Randy, shout out to the referee, because it was pretty dope the way that when he did the 1 count, said 1, and then he got up a little bit more to do the 2. So he made sure that his line of vision could not see the other shoulder. Right? Like, if you go back and look at the video, he goes 1, moves up 2, moves up again 3. So as he's doing the count, he's moving, so his eyes can't even. Randy's shoulder isn't even in his peripheral, which I thought was a pretty nice detail. So if that was intentional, shout out to that referee, because that was pretty dope. This moment here that Jeffrey is talking about, like, he's going for his belt. He could have easily picked it up. Kevin's like, I got this thing. And you don't touch a man's belt. You don't touch the man's belt. And then you just look at it. Look at it. Now respect it. And the way he just look, everybody gets that look. That belt. He's holding that belt like it's a damn Ulu Fala. He won it. He won it. He ain't held that belt since it was red. He held that belt since it was red. It's a long time.
You know what's crazy about that, though?
Him or Finn Balor.
No, but you know what I always found funny about that title reign? Chris Jericho was the United States champion, and he was like the one running the show with that team.
Festival of Friendship. Amazing.
The Festival of Friendship. I mean, the whole point was for Kevin Owens to turn on him. But, like, still, like, Chris Jericho was just running that whole thing. I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. The list, that shit was crazy. The list of Jericho, that shit was, I don't know how you can top that. But, Kevin Owens, he didn't have much of a title reign as far as being Universal Champion, in my opinion. Plus, it was a title reign that was handed to him by Triple H. It never looked like he actually earned it, like he earned the other ones. You know what I mean? So they might bring all of that into his heel work. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. I got a guy is gonna come in and be a bad.
I can see that. Just the teasing of the heel turn for KO is enough for me. I think that is really what people are looking for. They want something fresh. And not everybody can be face their whole career. Has there been a face their whole career?
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I thought that Kofi was trying to turn heel.
When?
So he had like tweener vibes.
When?
I'm going to say beginning of the groundwork for New Day, when we thought that they were going to Nation Domination Part 2.0.
Wait a minute.
He was a tweener because he was angry. He was.
Oh, yeah, New Day was heel when they started. They were heel.
But they were heel because nobody liked them. They weren't heel because their character. They were heel because nobody.
But they got really good at annoying people. Francesca came out and all of that, and now New Day rocks.
No, you are absolutely right. WWE is hitting that out of the park with slow burns. And I heard them say this on Busted Open that Bully Ray said that WWE is retraining everybody to pay attention to backstage segments, pay attention to ambiances, to moods and lighting and verbiage. They're retraining us to never turn your head away because you're going to miss something. Like when they were doing the whole Wyatt 6 things and they were doing it behind people that they were possibly targeting, right? Mm-hmm. Chad Gable's been a target the whole time, and it went over everybody's head, right? And then they're like, "Wow, this is so random. Well, this is so random." Well, WWE was giving you the clues, the backstage segments, the vignettes, the verbiage, everything. They give it to you, but some people on Twitter, if you go look at Twitter, you don't understand something. Twitter will get you right because they literally will explain it. They'll break it down. They'll have a slideshow for you, and it takes like 30 seconds. I'm like,
you know what though? But
I didn't even know that.
Now we live in a day and age where wrestlers can get instant feedback. And it's not something that certainly wasn't around before, where they would hear the feedback like way after the fact. Like you can get it right away because they all have social media posts, they all have access. People have access to them, so they can. And like I said before, I feel like some WWE watches these review shows from the fans, things that we do, things that other people do, and I think that they get a lot of feedback because, it's because we're fans. We all have wrestling minds, right? So we all have a mind for the business. Mm-hmm. So because we have a mind for the business, we're like backstage producers. Like we certainly can help, and it's free help. You know what I mean? So I think that they certainly, pay attention to all of those things, and the show has significantly gotten better, at least in the past couple of years. Even including the Vince era, because I think that for all the shit that people say about him making things stale, like Roman Reigns is probably his greatest. I mean, well, maybe John Cena, but at least with what he's doing. Well, yeah, I'll give you that.
Taker's definitely his greatest creation because Taker never crossed the line. He stayed in character, right? Like, and a lot of people don't do that anymore. MJF does it, but I feel like he's scaling back on it. But at the same time, dude, don't be a fucking dick to people. I don't understand why people like that treatment.
People like that. Like that's what they love.
That's like cuckold husbands to me. Like that.
Yeah.
Why would you pay money to be disrespected? Right? Like
but here's the thing. You don't have the complexion to understand that.
You're right. You're right, because if there was a black wrestler that decided to do that shit.
How many cuckold husbands have you seen that have been, minorities? to say that.
They're probably light skinned.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Like you're not finding that. You're not if you look it up on the sites, you know what I'm saying? They're not
On the site.
they're not gonna be they're not gonna be anyway. So Hyper
backstage, we see Mia Yim, and I just wanted to get into this segment before we get into the last two matches of the night, or the match segments of the night. And Chelsea runs up to Mia and says, "Oh yeah, we want to come out there, but you know, we saw that you had it, so you know, we didn't want to go out there." And then Mia's like, "Well, you know what? That's cool because I got me a title match versus Nia Jax, so for running out there, so maybe you should have ran out there." Chelsea storms off. By the way, Chelsea looking like a nice little Indian chief's wife. I like it. I don't know what it is, but I like it. And Nia, overhearing the news, just comes in. This is great. This is great. Let me get there. Blow! Listen, that's the second time she did some shit like that to Mia Yim. Remember when she was by the makeup section and she did the same shit to her? She just rammed her face into the makeup carts. Yeah, so that's it. She gets another one of those things.
But you know what though? But I love Mia Yim, but she's giving me Job Squad vibes.
Oh no!
Feeling.
I
mean, mind you, even though like I love the fact that she's been in NXT and going back and forth and things like that. You know what I mean? Stay Puff Marshmallow Man, Ghostbusters.
Yo, don't do my girl like that. Yo, don't call my baby the Stay Puff Marshmallow.
Who you gonna call? Mia Yim.
Yo, oh my gosh. Oh, don't leave my baby alone, man. I love you.
Don't get me wrong, she can still get it, but she really do look like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh my
God. With the sash and everything, bro. Like, hey, she's giving.
Oh my God.
You heard?
I definitely enjoyed this segment as well, Sabrina. I thought it was pretty dope. Chelsea doing Chelsea tings. All Chelsea needs is 15 to 25 seconds on the screen and guarantee you that you will smile or laugh. She's that damn good.
She is. I feel bad for Piper Niven though, because Piper got nothing to say. You know what I mean?
She said a little something.
Nah, and Niven is like, you know those girls that used to hang out with Regina George, like the side chicks.
Yeah, that's
what Piper Niven is. You know what I mean?
Side piece.
She's the side piece. You know what I mean? She's double the size of everybody, but she's the side piece.
So after that, we're going to get into Street Profits versus DIY. Listen,
match.
Would I say that this match was hands down a match of the year candidate? Mm-hmm. First of all, it was match of the week for me, for sure. Match of the week for sure for me. But listen, unfortunately, we had nothing from Pammy. I can't force it. I'm sorry. Like, they didn't even. The only mention of Bailey was the fact that she was beaten and that she was at the thing in New York that's going on, the fan thingy that's going on.
Oh yeah, it's going on right now, the Fan Fest.
Yeah, so she's not there. Like,
that's probably why
which I didn't understand why they had SmackDown people there if they were still doing it, but so she'll probably be back.
Well, no, because like Cody Rhodes ain't coming to the mark. There's been people here that have been here since yesterday, but not everybody's here. Like, I know that, like, you know, like the people that weren't on the show, like CM Punk and Hogan.
Yeah, they're already there. Yeah, those Raw people are already
there. I think like tomorrow, like Cody Rhodes and LA Knight are coming over here. I think Rhea Ripley's already here. Bailey's here. You know what I mean? But there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I couldn't give us no Bailey talk. And you know what? They telling me that I'm turning the Penitentiary into Perv Vision too much. Apparently, all I do is cut commercials about women's, but we also talk about the real here. This is why we're the premier show. You know, come on, man. Like, that's all I'm saying. We got a variety show. This is what we got, a variety show on SmackDown. But people come for the talk of Pammy. We come for the talk of Pammy, but we can't talk Pammy. So I gave Black Girl Magic a little extra. Gave them a little extra sizzle with they steak, a little bit of surf with they turf. This is absolutely tag team match of the year. When we look back, and I said this at the beginning of the show, when we look back in December, and when we're doing these UPR shows of top 5 matches or match nominees, this is definitely going to be a match that's on there. And shout out to that man Dawkins, because Dawkins took a lot of pressure. He took a lot of pressure. They had a spot where they was just kicking the shit out of Dawkins. He was taking everything. I mean, I was like, yeah. I said, yeah. When Ciampa lifted up Dawkins like he was going to pedigree him and just had his face just sitting there, and Gargano he just openly super kicked the shit out of him. I said, yeah, this shit is over with. And then slammed him on his face. I said, yeah, it's done. And Montez was out. He was out for a good 2-3 minutes on the side. I said, yeah, this is over with. And he kicked out. I'm like, oh, okay, this match is still going. And I didn't know who was going to win this match. It was great because they were story. If you take out what I think about the storyline for both teams, and you take that out,
if this was an AEW, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. Yeah. Right? So I just kind of wanted to watch it in that sense. And they did. We talked about this the other week, that they stopped doing the Batista Bomb RKO, but they did do it again tonight. So they're not done with that finisher. But it looks like the Super Blockbuster is their ultimate finish, because they got the dub. They are now the number 1 contenders for the tag team championship. And so next Friday we have an opportunity to have next Saturday we're going to have a crazy show, because SmackDown is going to be a crazy show. 3 title matches on SmackDown next week. It's going to be it should be a really good SmackDown, just like this SmackDown was. Shout out to both teams, because both teams bought it. And B-Fab actually coached them. She didn't just stand there. She actually coached them. Yeah. So yeah, she got her paycheck this week. And she still has a job and Bobby Lashley doesn't. But
I mean, I still think it should be Bianca Belair in their corner. Even though
it was an amazing match.
Even though sometimes when you do those things, you can't split them up later. So I don't know, but it was definitely a good match. They definitely put the Street Profits over harder than they ever did before. And the Street Profits might actually win next week's match. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot they can do there.
Sabrina, thank you, future co-host. See? Thank you, future co-host. First lady of the Penitentiary. Yep. Bad Guy Jack, you're about to lose her.
So now I think that and mind you, this might just be reaching, right? But if Roman comes in and like ruins it for them, and then the Street Profits win the titles, you know what I mean? Where the only thing that the current bloodline has is the Ula Fala as opposed to championships. I mean, I definitely think it could be that. So now the other thing I was thinking, Jimmy, if next week Jimmy comes out and does, because Jimmy's really good at ruining things for people. I already did it twice to Jay, right? So if Jimmy comes out and just ruins what goes on with these two, I think that'll get a huge pop, especially for Jimmy. Because as we'll talk about later, you know, the way that the show ended, I think kind of sets it up for that.
You know what? Speaking of that, that's exactly where we're going. But before we go, because we missed it last time, definitely want to say we want to celebrate the memory of Afa, one half of the other half that was still alive of the Wild Samoans. So now both of the Wild Samoans are tagging in heaven once again. So condolences and positive thoughts and many blessings to everybody in the Anawai family. That's crazy that they had to learn that information pretty much a day before, and then put on a banger of a closing segment on SmackDown. So as we are going to go into the closing of SmackDown, so we can get up out of here, because this is what everybody came to see. This is what everybody came to see. Everybody wanted to talk about, and we're going to talk about it for sure. So, we finally, Solo gets what he had three segments. He had 3 segments tonight, including the main event. And I'm not gonna lie, if whatever schedule that Roman is on now, I hope that he continues it, because getting Roman back on SmackDown every single week is great. It is great. I am enjoying SmackDown with Roman. If you don't give it to me every week, every other week, pause. That is crazy. That is a crazy statement. But you had to know that something was going to happen, because Solo was dressed in his wrestling gear all night. He was dressed in his wrestling gear all night long. And I'm not going to lie, when he came out there, I didn't think that Roman was going to come. I thought it was one of those things where, you know, like he calls him out, but he know he's not there type thing. And for sure, he tells him, again, when I'm speaking about Solo, my main focus here, it's the eyes. It's the eyes. He has it. He's been studying Roman. He's been under Paul. He's got the mannerisms down pat. People need to put more respect on Solo Sikoa's name. If you're gonna praise Dominic fucking Mysterio, then you need to praise Solo Sikoa, because Dominic can't even talk. He's not even getting a chance. He just now got a chance to talk, and he was talking about chicken tendies. Tendies.
So here's the thing, like, and I give credit to Rey Mysterio. Like, I believe Rey Mysterio is the greatest father in wrestling, because clearly there's nepotism going on here. However, Dominic Mysterio took that ball and ran with it. Like, I have never seen anybody get this level of heat consistently for this long. Plus, a lot of it is because of his connection with his father. You know what I mean? This whole thing about being a deadbeat dad and blah, 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 and the slow burn of them fighting, and now them fighting all the time. And now to the point where I finally beat my dad. Like, this shit has been going on for 2 years. This whole thing with Rey Mysterio and Dominic just becoming part of his own. Yeah, man. Like, I'll even go as far to say that it's a better beginning than Charlotte Flair, because the kid is he's doing amazing things as far as keeping a hold of the audience and connecting with the crowd. Yeah.
I mean, the man's already paid his dues. He got his ass whooped by Brock Lesnar for like 15 minutes straight. He's cool. So I mean, for those who say he got skyrocketed, I mean, the boy been in the business since he was 8 years old.
Facts. True, because
you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a really, I will say, and to say that, you know, I'm not, when I was saying believe in Solo and just as much as Dom, I'm not saying that, you know, one is greater than the other. I'm just saying, if you're appreciating Dom, you can appreciate Solo. But I get it. It's 2 different characters, but they're still bringing very high heat.
There's a big difference here, though. Solo's father is a Hall of Famer, but he's running around doing meet and greets. Dominic Mysterio's father is still active, a Hall of Famer, still in the mix, with his own faction on the side, putting other people on. You know what I mean? Like,
he got his ass whooped by Buddy and Seth. Oh man, I love that Seth Rollins. It just didn't hit. It just didn't hit. But I think everybody has like an experimental character before they get to their final character. It's usually like 3 or 4 versions of your character before you hit the right one, right? Like Stunning Steve Austin. Then you got Steve Austin. Then you got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin was obviously the money, right? You got Rocky Maivia, Nation of Domination Rock, Corporate Rock. Then you got The Rock, and you got Hollywood Rock. So he got 2 of them, right? He got 2 of them.
Yeah, but they all smell what the Rock's cooking.
They all smell what the Rock is cooking.
Right.
You know what? When it's all said and done for Dominic Mysterio, before we get back into this bloodline, when it's all said and done, Dom has done something with his dad that hasn't ever been done.
Facts.
And that's become World Tag Team Champions.
Facts.
I remember Orton and his dad were trying to do it in Orton's early career. I think it was maybe 05, 06-ish. I want to say whenever he went to SmackDown and he was doing that his early heel work on SmackDown. They could have had it, but Bob Orton was not. He's not.
The opportunity. First of all, the fact that because Rey Mysterio had him young, he had him super young. You know what I mean?
Young.
But then at the same time, that's
yes. Thank you, Jeffrey. I didn't know if it was 05 or 06.
That's part of some Mexican culture. Like in certain parts of Mexico, like it's believed that like you should be starting to have babies at 16, 17. So that's a testament to the culture. But then because in Mexico, Rey Mysterio was like an old man, but he's still in his 40s. He's just a little bit older than we are. You know what I mean? Well, at least than I am. But
40 now was not to be wrestling in 40 now is like the norm, right? But like
it is. Look,
10, 15 years ago, if you're 40, it's like I think you know what it is. It's the comparison of sports entertainment to actual NBA, NFL, right? Like
but
NFL, they take contact, and the running backs they're done before 28. They don't even believe in running backs anymore. They want running backs between the ages of 22 and 26. You get 28 to 29 and 30, they write you off. Yeah.
Look, if it's football, I get that, but I guarantee you, LeBron James is not going to be the last person to play with his son.
I think that he is. I think that LeBron is. He will be. LeBron James will go down as somebody that has done what nobody can ever do, and that's because he started his regimen very young. Once he started to realize, hey, he pays $1 million in the off season for his diet, for his workout, for his regimen through the season. Like $1 million on your body is crazy work, and he's never had an injury. Like I don't think there's anybody, if you could compare that to pro wrestling, that has had even an Iron Man type career. I mean, it was the Miz for a while, but I mean, like in a main event space, I don't think there's anybody that could even come close.
No, I mean, because you never know. You never know what the future holds. There's always somebody. There's always somebody that's good. You know what I mean? But the thing is that look, Rikishi can't get in the ring. You know what I mean?
He can barely walk.
But Rey Mysterio, he's still having stellar matches. I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody in the future that is wrestling with their kids. That's the reason why I bring up LeBron James. You never know. It might not be somebody as good as LeBron James or with that name, but that kind of thing could happen. You know what I mean? Within a 20
LeBron's doing something that's never been done. The only time it's been done is in baseball. He has a chance to share the court with his son. And the Lakers have already specified that they're going to do that. They're going to let them share the court. They're going to let them play a few minutes, and they're gonna send Bronny down to the G League. So
Probably.
the only other people that I can think of off the top of my head that have done that is the player that I'm wearing, Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. That was back in 92, 93. So
wait, what about Cal Ripken?
Cal Ripken and his daddy, maybe?
Yeah, I wonder if they did.
I have to ask Mike that because Mike is a big baseball historian, but I just focus on the people that I love. So, and Ripken, I hated Ripken, even though I'm very close to Baltimore. Back into the bloodline, he calls out Roman and he's standing here diabolical. This is diabolical villain work. Love it. And Roman gets a tremendous pop. Man, it just doesn't do, like, sometimes, and I wish we could have got EC on here because he was there last night. I think him and Dan Man was there, so shout out to Dan Man.
Some of them went last night.
AEW Dynamite crew. They were there last night. I really wanted to get, you know what? I guarantee you, for what we do here at UPR, they were there. I guarantee you there's no videos. There's no videos of this.
That's
I
ridiculous.
guarantee you. We are content creators, and yet they go there and they not give us content. I'm just saying.
And you know
what? Coming through my sound bar and my subwoofer, crazy pop. Like I can feel the rumbling and the cheers in my floor. So I thought, I'm looking, I'm like, oh, he got a hoodie now? But it wasn't a hoodie. It was just a sweatshirt cut off with the sleeves. But he stands there, he takes it all in, and not gonna lie, for me, at this point, I said, yeah. Jimmy gotta come now. Then I thought about it, I said, nope, wait. Last time we saw Roman, he punched Solo in the mouth and speared him for what he was talking about him. Okay, cool. You got the comeback pop. Then we see him tonight, and I said, oh, he's coming face to face, and it's only Tama Tonga? Tungaloa eyes still must be fucked up. or they took him off TV. They took him off TV for not holding the belt up right. The drum intro is so crazy. It definitely gives you babyface hero type Avenger vibes. Like something is about to happen. And I love that for his intro music, because similar to what I was speaking of with people with their characters, right? They also go through at least 2 to 3 renditions of their entrance music as well. And Roman has got it. This is the one. Like, you started off with something, that gets you ready for what's about to happen, and then you go into the music that we've become to love, which is the head of the table tribal chief music. But for me, I love the call out from Solo. I love the action from Roman. And now what we're gonna do is so Roman gets his get back for a minute, and him and Solo's hands off the Ulu Fala to Tama Tonga and tells him, go stand over there. Take the yes, it's a under the sweat hoodie, which I am for those people who are still looking for wrestling shirts and you do not want to shop on WWE, go to Hot Topic. Same shirts, lower prices. Just go to Hot Topic. And you can afterpay it. But Solo, really good back and forth between them. Not gonna lie, I thought Roman was just gonna squash Solo. This is how you get Solo to seem like he is a big deal, because WWE is treating him like a big deal. Now you have to make it believable to us, the audience, and this is exactly how you do it. He tries to hit him with the spike. Roman ducks it, hits him with the spear, and again he gets dazed. Everybody gets dazed. Damn the tag title. We don't care about that.
That was fun.
This is what it's about. This is what it's about. And the pop that happened when he put that thing on.
Yep.
Listen, just this segment alone has given Roman has given us so much meme quality work already, and Black wrestling Twitter is already all over it. I'm looking, I'm like, sometimes I gotta stop myself from looking at the time and how much time is left before SmackDown goes off. And this was one of those times. I just wanted to sit and enjoy what this was. And the crowd popped so huge. Look at that. They were going crazy. And Roman is soaking it in. Finally, I got it. Ooh, Fala. Fine. And next thing you know, bow! First of all,
that was interesting.
I don't think that people recognized Roman got kicked with the fucking boot on.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that boot is a work.
He got kicked with the boot. That is crazy work, which leads me to believe that Jacob isn't that hurt. If he is hurt, I do believe that he is hurt to an extent. I don't believe that he's hurt to the point where it's going to take him out of action because, for those of you who don't know, you guys see my son here every other Saturday when he's with me. He actually broke his leg at daycare. And what he did was he got lodged in between a little push buggy and the daycare fence, and he was trying to get out of it. His leg got lodged, and he ended up creating a spiral break. So, which is a better break than straightforward, but he had to be in a cast first and then a boot afterwards. The boot afterwards would imply that the healing is almost done, or it doesn't take much more to heal. So my son sat in a cast for roughly 3-4 weeks, and then he was in a boot for the last 2. So it doesn't take long. Plus he's 3 years old, going on 4. Their bones heal faster.
Facts.
But Jacob having this boot on leads me to believe that he's not going to miss a beat. He's not going to miss a beat. And it looks like one of those good-ass boots, too, because that thing definitely looks cushioned. That thing looks cushioned. And he is moving very well with it. I mean, I didn't think... when I first saw him kick Roman with it, I'm like, did he have a boot? Is that a boot? It is one of those very high cushions, so it's probably feeling like he's walking, running on air.
Fact. He looks like he probably got more cushion than some Jordans.
He probably do. The only thing I probably would say, the only thing that is hindering him is the fact that there's a height difference when he's stepping.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, and it took my son so long to get used to having the boot on for 2 weeks, and he took it off, and he was still trying to adjust to the height. He was walking with a limp, but he didn't have a boot on. So he got to retrain himself how to walk and run. But the way that Jacob is moving is crazy, and
I mean, he does move crazy for a big man. Like, he definitely is giving Bam Bam Bigelow. Like, he definitely gives that he's got like that fast and like that shocking, all those shocking flips that he does, especially as fast as he does them. Like, he moves like a luchador sometimes in that ring. Like, and mind you, like, the stuff that he's doing in WWE doesn't even compare to like the crazy shit.
Not at all. Not at all. I wanted to focus on. Whoops, I messed that up. I wanted to focus on the professionalism of Roman calling this segment. And everybody knows I love tidbits in wrestling. I love in-ring calling. I love to see who's calling the match or calling the segment. And then this part here, Roman is telling Jacob what to do. I don't know if anybody caught this, but Roman literally tells him to go to the corner, you know, to he's literally telling him. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted for this.
I mean, well, yeah, because the thing is,
see, like that is just this is how you know this man is Cena level. He's Cena level. When we talk about the greatest superstars of all time that just know how to get that heat and that reaction, it's not about making them look good. We already know Roman's a made man. He retires today. He's a made man. He's going down arguably the greatest in WWE of the modern era, if you want to go. He's now the question is, is he past The Rock?
Yeah, because he spent a lot more time there than The Rock. You know what I mean?
This is true, but in the short amount of time that The Rock was there in his first run, Rock had, I mean, it's hard to argue today versus Attitude Era, and I wish that fans would stop doing it, especially the fans that didn't grow up in the Attitude Era.
Well,
right? They've only heard stories.
Era is that, like, yo, there was one writer, and there was no board of directors.
Yeah.
No, there was no stockholders to you know what I mean, to answer to. And then all of these restrictions with the TV and the this and the that, like, yo,
and TV 14 was a motherfucker back then.
Yeah,
TV 14. There's not a lot of shows in TV 14 now.
Oh, but like a PG-13 movie was a motherfucker back then too, compared to today.
Yes.
I mean, even an R-rated movie, like, so, you know, that whole thing is different now. When it comes to this, one thing that I definitely appreciate is that now finally the Ula Fala is a thing, and that's the thing that's gonna determine the tribal combat, right? So now tribal combat is gonna be a thing. I don't think that WWE is gonna produce their own Ula Fala, because one thing I see on Amazon is a whole bunch of Ula Falas, because it's an actual cultural thing. You know what I mean? So that stems back to Samoa. So, and it comes from a tree. I just learned that. Like, it's seeds. All of that is seeds from a tree, which is great. You know,
it's from sections of a pandanus fruit, which can be yellow, orange, or red when it's ripe. But obviously, that's only when it's ripe. So that's why, you know, it gets dyed with red or natural dye, and it's worn by high chiefs, orators, or other dignitaries.
What I find interesting is that
color is associated with high rank and nobility in Polynesia. So I just read this on Google for those who thought that I definitely didn't know that shit off the top of my head. But
no, I mean, it goes to show you though, you know, like, because like I'm looking at the tree now, and clearly it's not something that grows in the continental United States. Probably grows in Hawaii, probably in Puerto Rico, but not in the 48, in the regular 48. So yeah, it just gets too hot for this thing, and I love it because they're bringing a taste of culture into it, and especially like their own culture. But now this thing is going to be like a Money in the Bank briefcase, like another title. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's just going to be like between them.
What up, Mad Dog?
It's going to be another title. Like if it's Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat at Bad Blood, you know, as the top of the ticket, that makes a lot of sense. You know, with this whole thing, and you know, I'm excited for it. I'm here for it because, you know, we'll see what happens as far as these two fighting over the chiefdom, which is something that's historical. You know what I mean?
And another variant. Where is The Rock in all of this? It's crazy work.
I wouldn't be
crazy work.
See,
because you said it before. He's a high chief. He's not being acknowledged as a high chief. He's the son of a high chief. So, I mean, we know this from watching Game of Thrones or Viking or Last Kingdom. When you're the son of somebody high in hierarchy, you are now the hierarchy. So we still don't know where The Rock lands in all of this, which makes another layer of the onion peelable. This is why this is the greatest storyline in the history of professional wrestling, and I want to say it's not even close, but that's just off the top of my head. But still, it's not even close. It's really not. I don't think that there's not been a storyline in the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years that has made everybody so super emotionally invested, whether you actually emotionally invest in it as a fan, or if you're a casual and you turn the TV on and you see, if somebody casual didn't know what WWE was, right? And they said, let me check this out. Why are these two light-skinned men fighting over a necklace? Right? It's going to intrigue the general audience, right? And this is why the first part of the bloodline is of the head of the table. Why is he bullying his family and leading them? Like, the casual fan would continue to get intrigued. They would continue to get intrigued, right? Now he's got his family together. Why would they let this white Canadian in? And he's not even black. He's not Samoan. Like, intrigue. And then you got, it's just so many layers that you bring into the bloodline that I would say that if, I would say we're probably in the 6th inning, maybe with to take it from Paul or Roman, and they're saying, I will believe that we're in the 6th inning with this. How long do you think that we can go on with the bloodline storyline? When do you see it ending, or does it end?
I don't see it. I see it as part of, as one of the things that becomes part of the show. The Money in the Bank was a show in WrestleMania. Now it's a PLE. I think that things with the storyline are going to evolve into other places, and one of those places I hope that it evolves to is with Queen Nia. She acknowledged her tribal chief at WrestleMania, at the Hall of Fame. So whose side?
Need the Tonga twins. Then they need the Tonga twins.
Yeah, they do. I mean, and they have space for them, and they have a place to put them. But what's the issue here, though? One of the problems that Jacob is having is just that he's not accustomed to cameras. He's not accustomed to the camera systems that you learn in NXT, right? That's what he didn't get in MLW. Everything else he has. But one thing that I do notice, and I noticed this when he first came out, when they did the whole polls and everything, everybody has gotten so much TV time that their camera setup is different. Like, Jacob Fatu, see that? You know what I mean? Like, Roman is just, Roman's a really good actor, so he's gonna go be an actor, right? So, but the thing is that Jacob doesn't have that polish. You can see that shit is fun. That's a good one.
Listen, if you think this is probably the funniest facial meme since the Kurt Angle joint, where he was sitting outside with the eyes big and shit. And in the wrestling internet community took that shit and ran with it. This shit right here, immediately, this is goated. Immediately off the top, I said, I guarantee you, if somebody does not make a meme about getting some sloppy top and she keeps going when you're done, and this is the face that you make, you have failed us as an internet wrestling community member, because this is goated from Roman. That man, he looks like a cartoon character. His eyes are about to bug out of his head. What's the
what the sad part is, though? People that can make you do that are people you can't trust. That's the sad part.
What's the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was in like Mars and they hit the outside planet? They couldn't touch the air, right? And when they touched the air, their eyes like bulge out of their head. Come on, somebody know what I'm talking about. Really? Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was the woman that had like 6 titties or triple titties or whatever.
Whoa.
You don't know? Oh man, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, the Running Man.
No, it wasn't Running Man. I know it wasn't Running Man. Oh man.
I know it wasn't Conan.
Total Recall.
Total Recall, yeah.
That's what Roman looks like right here. He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with his eyes about to pop out in Total Recall when they hit the air and they didn't have no oxygen. But this is, again, he is selling, he is putting over. When, if you guys haven't seen the AEW biography that they did on Roman Reigns, one of the longest ones that they've ever done. And speaking of longest, this is one of the longest shows we ever done. But the show was so dope and the conversation's been fire. So I know Vic looks like he's tired, so we're gonna get out here soon. But this is how you put over. And all the reports of, oh, they're trying to keep, you know what? Fucking death to dirt sheets. Fucking death to dirt sheets. And now I am talking to my counterpart here, and I gotta throw some shots at AEW Dynamite crew. And this is not anything personal. You guys, love you guys. Dope. Mad Dog Kelly, stop getting your fucking news from Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Meltzer. You came on there last Wednesday and said, oh, they're keeping Roman and Jacob Fatu away from each other. Well, who the fuck was wrong? Who the fuck was wrong? Your sources, your fucking sources were wrong. Stop it. Stop giving these guys clout and credit. Stop giving these guys clout and credit. Let's enjoy being wrestling fans, because that's what we are, and not news reporters. We're content creators. Let's not get it off of somebody else. That's all I'm saying. Stop getting this shit from them. Because clearly Jacob, if we're talking Jacob versus Roman, seriously, I'm still taking Roman. I don't care what Jacob has done. I don't care what Jacob has done in MLW. I don't care how many flips he can do as a big man. What story is he telling me?
Not
how
much.
is he presenting himself? Right? He's some Samoan werewolf. You know what that reminds me of? Crispin Waller, Rabbit Wolverine.
Uh-huh.
Can somebody tell me the best story that Crispin Waller has told in the ring? I stress in the ring because I know there could be so many jokes outside of the ring. So
I mean, no, you know, he had terrible mic skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Benoit, he was great in the ring, but he had terrible mic skills. So
too many headbutts.
Yeah.
Roman teases the power bomb to Jacob, and we knew that wasn't going to happen. But they take a page out of Roman's early career in the Shield, put him through the table. And then, hey, yo, we got 3 minutes left. Get him in the ring. 3 minutes left. Get him in the ring. Closing shot, as Bloodline always does, and has been doing for the past 2-3 months.
So now this right here, I feel like this is the setup for them to lose the titles next week and for probably bring Jimmy back. Because this right here is showing how Roman can't take them all on by himself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Keep going, brother, because that's where I was going at. Keep
That's
going.
pretty much what this is showing. So in my opinion, it's smart booking. It makes, you know, the new Bloodline look strong, standing over the OTC, and now the OTC is gonna need some help. So I wouldn't be surprised if next week in DC we see Paul Heyman and Jimmy, or you know, I mean, because he's not just gonna if Paul Heyman comes back, you know, it's either going to be
for the correction.
If Paul Heyman comes back, it's either going to be one of the last pieces, or you know, one of the first pieces to the original Bloodline. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
They absolutely did not need Bachaloa. That is crazy because that is getting over in the internet wrestling community. Bachaloa. I forgot what the podcast was. It came on my reels. It came on my Facebook reels the other day. Three black men speaking about pro wrestling. I forgot what their podcast is, but shout out to them because they are hilarious.
I feel like Chris started that whole thing.
I do feel like Chris started it, but at the same time, they've been going hard just as much as Chris has. And I think wrestling community as a whole on the internet has just, they're tired of Tonga Loa's shit. Like, there's no way that Jimmy didn't do this, Jay didn't do this, Sammy didn't do this, Solo didn't do this, Tama Tonga isn't doing this. And you come here on the greatest storyline in the history of professional wrestling, and you can't even hold the belt the right way.
Facts.
Okay, we gave The Rock a pass when he didn't throw up the ones the right way. That's only because we thought that he was trolling Roman and he was doing something else. So we can feed into that. We can dive and maneuver around it. This shit,
that also goes to show you like how much people look for a story. Like, yo, the camera was upside down for a second. You heard?
That means Bray Wyatt is coming back and he's going to go upside down.
yo, did you see that fan in the front stands? Did you see that guy that was standing behind Jerry and everybody else? Oh man, yo, they look. Something's gonna happen.
Overall, really good SmackDown. We went way over time, but the numbers were popping. They were steady. Great conversation with me and my brother Vic here. So sometimes it just happens that way. So EC, don't get mad at us, but I guarantee you the numbers should surpass and do what we're supposed to do when we go over like this. It'd be a shame if we go 2 hours and get 10 viewers. Right. So his botching is over. Like, he's got to be, but the shit that he was doing in New Japan, and he was doing the chopping shit, and he was chop and it's like slow motion. Like, what are you doing? What is your purpose in life? What is your purpose? No, I did not see this.
Go back and see like his matches.
Oh yeah, when he first came to AEW, yeah, when he went to the other side of the crowd, yeah, he saw there was no crowd. Yeah, I did see that. But if this was recently, I've not seen that. I'm sorry, Vic, go ahead.
It makes me want to go back and see when he was Camacho and see his match.
Yes, I definitely have to look at that. I am still not even nowhere near close to that in my timeline of rewatching wrestling. I'm still watching WCW from the beginning. I'm getting closer to Sting getting back in the ring after over a year to take on the NWO. So I'm still not there. I'm not even close to WCW getting bought out yet. So I'm still in 90, about to go into early 98. So I got a while before I get to that, but I might start a WWE where I start watching the Raw from the beginning. Maybe SmackDown. I can't do Raw. Raw started like 94, 93 or some shit. I might have to start SmackDown from the beginning. But overall, really good night of SmackDown. I have no complaints. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I thought that it was amazing. It kept me entertained just as much as playing Madden 25, even though the game is complete shit. So if you are a gamer, you like Madden, just get it because you like football and stay off a line because it's terrible. But good, very good SmackDown. I have no complaints about it. Maybe the Naomi Davenport, aka low budget Jamie Hayter match, but still really good. Not to mention, not only was he Camacho, but he was also in a stable in TNA with LA Knight and Drew McIntyre called The Rising.
Oh shit.
And they were feuding with Bobby Lashley and the Beatdown Clan.
Wow.
Yes. So that Legion Camacho is on some shit right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lots of shows here before we get up out of here. Mondays, you can catch the Mike Knox show at 6 p.m. Tuesdays, you can catch the Monday Night Raw review at 7 p.m. NXT, you will catch the review and results with Bad Guy Jack and our future co-host, the First Lady of the Penitentiary, Miss Sabrina Estella. And then Wednesdays, you catch White Boy Wasted Wednesdays with Cactus Katie and Dan the Man, Vinny, and I'm forgetting somebody. Mad Dog Kelly. Sorry. And then you can catch the top 5 in specials on Thursday. Come back here on Saturday afternoon for the Penitentiary. And then also you can catch Vinny later on Sunday. I believe that he's going to switch it to for Collision Review. He did do his Collision Review last Saturday after Collision. And I think that the plan is going forward, he's going to wait a day after and do it on a Sunday, which is very smart because everybody does their Collision shit right after Collision. We do our shit right after. We don't do it right after SmackDown. We do it the next day. So you listen to the rest, now listen to the best. So, and also before we get out of here, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. You guys in the chat have been dope. G, dope. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your support. Sabrina Estella, thank you. And Mad Dog Kelly, everybody who stopped by, Mike Knox and the Mike Knox Show, everybody that stopped by, commented, liked, shared, subscribed, whatever your business is, thank you. Also, within the next 3 weeks, I do have my podcast called This Is My Speaking Voice. This is everything outside of wrestling. I will talk everything outside of wrestling because you guys get to see me every Saturday, so I'm not going to talk wrestling on here because so many people want to know my opinions on music, movies, TVs, society, whatever is going on in the world. So that is my podcast that will be started. You can follow my page on Facebook, The Z is Silent, or my YouTube that I am starting, The Z is Silent as well. So that is that to look forward to. Most likely it will be the start of September. And any final words before we get up out of here? Because I know I am hungry. I know you're tired. Let's get up out of here. Any final words?
Well, no, just SmackDown is good. Let's keep it up.
SmackDown was good. As we always do, we will leave you with a clip of last week's show. Stay humble, stay blessed. Yes, EC, we are just about to sign off. Our numbers were great. I guarantee you they will subside whatever thoughts you have. The conversation was good. The SmackDown was good, damn it. You were there. You watched. The SmackDown was good, man. Come on now. It has to happen. But anyway, live hard, love harder, drink, be merry, reach for the sky, and rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. We will catch y'all next week. Peace.
Welcome to the Smackdown Penitentiary.
He just looks like he means business. It's not even like like that look is like a calm. It's like a calm before the storm. But he doesn't look that angry. Like, I've seen him angrier in matches. It just looks like, you don't know, I'm really about to fuck you up. Like, that's the way he looks to me.
The one who I would announce as the tribal chief because Roman Reigns was his #1 favorite wrestler. Now it's Solo Sikoa because Solo calls himself the tribal chief, even though he's trying to be a filler version. And he's a Timu version. And now he's turning his back on him just because now Roman's not no heel. Roman's a babyface. And he's getting the babyface love and push that they wanted 4 or 5 years ago.
More like 10 years ago.
Yeah, you're right, 10 years ago. But still, he's turning his back. Can someone go outside and check to see if the sky is falling or if hell is frozen over? I'm going.
I should have found the video that had the actual subtitles of the conversations that they were having. And Solo was like, "You're not the man anymore. You go away." And then Roman is looking at him, and he throws the one up. This shot, he's telling you, "I'm only going to tell you one time." Listen, we just need to hear Roman Reigns on the microphone.
Like I said, it was nice to see Roman clean house. I enjoyed watching him clean house on the twins who couldn't get themselves together over here, first of all. Still couldn't get themselves together. And the only reason that Timu Bloodline has been able to get themselves together, Tama Tonga was that for a bit, and then they brought in Tonga Low, and then it started looking like a joke. And then Jacob Fatu came in the picture with everybody anticipating that for ages now.